Well, the creators of an Indigenous magazine want to make sure that their culture is passed on to the next generation of Canadians. Winnipeg teacher Christine Millot has been using Red Rising magazine in her classroom, getting a positive response from students. Well, now Red Rising is asking for input from the community, and they're working to create lesson plans so that teachers across the country can use it as a resource to infuse Indigenous issues into the curriculum. Christine Millot is our guest this morning from Winnipeg. Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
What is taught about Indigenous issues in schools right now?
I think definitely more could be taught in schools about Indigenous issues. I know we're taught a lot in the history, not necessarily taught by Indigenous people about our own histories, but I think lots more can be done, and that's where we hope to fill the gap with our magazine.
You know, you make the point about authentic resources, having Indigenous issues taught from people from that community. Tell me more about how you see that played out in the classroom and why it's so important to you.
Yeah, it's really important that our own voices tell our own stories, because in the past I think that there's been an appropriation of voice on Indigenous people, and it's really important for us to reclaim our own voice and tell our stories in a way that shows our resilience.
Well, one way that you're doing that is the Red Rising magazine. Tell us a bit more about it and how you're using it in the classroom and the response from students.
Yeah, I use it just as a free reading material in my classroom, because right now I'm teaching grade 7 and 8, and I would say that the writing is a little bit advanced for my students right now, but I mean, just putting it in my classroom, I see that my students really gravitate towards it because of the beautiful artwork on the cover, and it's not something that they see every day, so I'm really happy that my students are engaged with it.
Well, we haven't had a chance to see it, so tell us about some of the content in the magazine and why you feel it's a good resource for students to learn about Indigenous issues.
Sure, so we feature Indigenous scholars, writers, whether they're published or unpublished, as well as Indigenous youth. There are short stories, poems, song lyrics, biographies, essays, as well as artwork that is all original content. And we're really hoping to amplify those voices of Indigenous youth and hopefully inspire the next generation of academics, scholars, writers, artists.
Tell me what you want to see in our current curriculum about Indigenous issues that maybe is not put in there right now.
I would like to see Indigenous perspectives infused all across the curriculum, and I would like our worldview before colonization to also be taught, because it's a really beautiful thing and it really shows the resiliency of our people.
What other educational tools are we looking at working on?
We're working on lesson plans and unit plans. We recently held an idea jam where we invited teachers all across Winnipeg to come and help brainstorm how can Red Rising better support you in your classroom. And there was a lot of excitement about our initiative, and teachers are looking forward to using it as a resource, and they even said that there's a need out there.
Yeah,
we're really looking forward to it.
Even in speaking with teachers, I know that the desire is there to include it in the curriculum, but they don't always know what to include or where to go for resources. So this is a great tool. In the province of Ontario, an Ontario school board made headlines because they replaced their grade 11 English course, in which students would usually study Shakespeare, with some Indigenous literature. So would you like to see other schools follow suit?
I think so. I think our goal as educators is to get students interested in reading and get them really instill that love of learning. And I think that our resource, hearing from Indigenous voices, will really help students relate to the material and hopefully instill that sense of love for learning within them.
In an interesting and colorful way that they would normally pick up anyway, like a graphic novel.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Christine, thanks for joining us this morning from Winnipeg.